So like in junior high school, I knew something was different with me, but I never really like pinpointed it, or at least allowed myself to pinpoint what exactly that was. It wasn't until like high school when I sort of like took notice of like every little thing and realized like I have no sexual interest in women, but I do men. I was definitely like terrified about even thinking about it because, you know, growing up and being Caribbean, you're literally force-fed the idea that you're going to hell or we will kill you. And it was definitely difficult. I definitely contemplated suicide many times. Thank God I never went through with it, mainly because I'm a bitch when it comes to pain. It's funny because like in high school, like I knew people who were gay, who I don't necessarily know if they were out to people that they knew, but I definitely knew. And it was sort of like one of those moments where like, okay, I know you are, I know I am, but oh crap, does everybody else know? So like I definitely for numerous years like kind of like made it so that people couldn't figure me out. Even if like they did, like I would deny it. Like I would not give off any indications that I possibly might be homosexual. I was terrified to mention anything to my parents, to my family. It took an emotional toll on me and a mental toll. I even like wrote letters expressing my heartache to my mother. And like, even though like she might have been like open to it, I wasn't comfortable enough because, you know, I'm a fucking teenager. I don't have a job. I like couldn't live on my own. And like I would always hear all these horror stories about, you know, people who've been kicked out and were like living on the streets, and I was just like terrified. I was like, I don't want to go through that. I felt like I wasn't emotionally or mentally prepared to handle any of that. I would say a turning point for me was definitely the summer after high school, when my mother and I went to a psychic, if you want to call them that, and we went in separately. And what was kind of funny is that the guy, he like used tarot cards or whatever, and I didn't say anything, and like literally just like from the cards or whatever, he was like, you're struggling through your sexuality right now. And I was just like, what the fuck? Like, how is it even possible that you could even see that or even know that? My mother went in after. I was a little terrified in that moment because I was just like, oh God, is he gonna out me? What's gonna happen? Because he was Caribbean himself. She came out and everything seemed fine. So we're on our way, we're like driving back home, and you know, just talking, having fun. And the next thing I know, my mother turns to me and she goes, is there anything you want to tell me? And at first I didn't think anything of it, and I was like, no, like, what are you talking about? But then like she asked me again, she was like, is there anything like you need to tell me? Like I'm here for you and all. And in that moment I was just like, fuck. Like, like the second literally just outed me. So like I was just like, no. I think it was like probably 6 months later is when I finally like came out to her and told her I was gay. She was like, I figured. And we kind of like talked about it for a bit, and she expressed, you know, her concerns, which in that moment, I kind of like understood because, you know, she kind of saw all the negative things that I saw in regards to everyone looks at it as like a sin, you know. She was like, you still can get hurt, and you know, I just don't want that like harsh life for you. But like I kind of I was like, you know, I'm gonna face problems regardless. I can't be depressed for all my life. Years have definitely passed, and we're good on that front. I still sense like some discomfort on her end, but she's still cool. We still have that lovable like friendship vibe, which is cool to have. Obviously, not many people in our community can get that. I'm gonna face problems regardless. I can't be depressed for all my life.